Alright, and ready.
Right, let's go guys, back again. Back down in orbit, we got powerful Andy running the camera. How are you, sir?
Good, sir.
Good times.
Yes.
I wanted to talk today about something, a bit of a problem I had recently that I thought it was worth sharing. So this idea of thinking laterally when it comes to your injuries, not just necessarily thinking my back hurts, I've got a back problem. So to give you an example of that, I had a squat workout earlier in the week. Squat's been feeling really good lately. All of a sudden, I hit a workout, felt like absolute dog shit. No idea what was going on. It was like I'd squat down and I'd hit an invisible wall. I felt like I was losing positioning, lost all my power to come back up out of the hole, and just couldn't figure it out. There was no pain with it, there was no discomfort with it, other than the fact that I knew I wasn't in the right bottom position. Now normally with that stuff, I think, oh, is it my hip? I tend to have some hip problems, but I've cleared that up. And normally if it's my hip, when I squat down, I'll have some medial knee discomfort or some joint line discomfort, maybe some anterior hip. None of that. Invisible wall at the bottom, absolutely awful. So I started to think back, what have I done the last couple days has changed? And then it became blatantly obvious. I had spent all the previous weekend scuba diving in those flippers, fins, basically with my ankle in complete end range plantar flexion most of the weekend. All of a sudden then it was starting to make sense. My calves had tightened up from being in that shortened position all weekend. So then when I go to hit the bottom of the squat, particularly with my style, I've been playing around with this very vertical knees forward position. So if I've got a tight gas drop, all of a sudden I've taken up all the slack at the heel cord, and then it's going to affect the origin up at the knee. It's not going to have that same freedom of movement. So went back, smashed my calves, all of a sudden no invisible wall at the bottom of the squat. Cleaned it up, and cleaning up the calves. So just a bit of an example of start thinking beyond the area of pain, or the area of discomfort. Start backtracking through your patterns. But I want to show you guys how I cleared that up, because this is going to be a very important one for all you guys with high bar squats, front squats, anything that's a little more knee dominant. You wide stance guys with really hinging style, you're not going to suffer from this as much as the very knees forward Olympic lifter guys, or the high bar guys. So all I did was I doubled back to Starrett's work. I went back to becoming a supple leopard, went with this bone saw mode. Absolutely phenomenal for loosening up the gastroc. Get a roller, get a pillow. What you're gonna do, say I wanna loosen off my left gastroc, I'm gonna put my right shin blade right on top of that muscle belly. I'm then gonna sit back on it, and oh, that's absolutely awful. If I find a spot, I can hold it. I can do little pressure waves, as he describes in his book. I can just contract, relax. Basically, I want to spend 2 minutes there. So break that up for a couple minutes, hunt around, put as much pressure on it as you can stand, then pair that up with some kind of stretching. So I've had actual calf tears in the past, so I know that there's bundles of scar tissue in there. So we know that if you've got scar tissue, your body's going to lay it down. It's going to lay down that collagen in a cross patchwork of mix mash, messed up stuff. So break it up with a mode, then go into your stretch to realign that collagen back in line with the contractile element of the muscle. So go to your stretches. You can certainly do your runner stretch. That's a classic. I like to actually get the toes right up on the wall, really take up the slack in the tight calf. Keep that knee straight, squeeze the ass, bring that hip, close the distance into the wall, hold that, that's your stretch. So move it, then stretch it, retest your squat. Give it a go, guys. Check out the site, strengthpt.net. If you're training in Mornington, come check out Andy down at Orbit. Thanks, guys.